Like the wheelie popping, doing like 60, I think it can be a dangerous situation for sure. Something bad's going to happen from it.
Well, WDSU investigates kicking one crime trend in New Orleans to the curb. We're talking about ATVs on our roads, interstates, and neighborhoods. It is a crime that breaks state law, but we are witnessing it more often now.
WDSU investigates reporter Cassie Sherm found out what seems to be a shocking lack of enforcement.
It's become a regular occurrence to see ATV drivers driving up and down the roadways where I'm standing right now here on Canal Street. But what WDSU investigates just found is only 13 ATV citations have been given out to drivers from NOPD since 2016. But some of the drivers on the roadway here tell me that's not enough. You can hear them in the neighborhood and see them driving in and out of traffic on the interstate and even downtown running red lights.
You're in your car and there are 30 or 40 four-wheelers surrounding you. So yeah, I think it's picked up a lot lately and more crazy and brazen.
For drivers sharing the street, there's a lot of worry the situation could take a left turn.
Probably more concerned about one of the ATVs bumping into another one and causing an accident and you're running over someone. Probably the nervous drivers, like I might hit one of these ATVs.
Driving ATVs on roads and highways in Louisiana is against the state law. But the law has not stopped drivers, and the consequences have been fatal.
I talked to God from the time I seen her. Talked to God till I got the ambulance. I talked to God when I was in the hospital, and I talked to God while she was there, and I've been talking to God since.
It's been close to 9 years since 37-year-old Daphne Cola was struck and killed by an ATV rider in the Treme walking out of a bar. Her sister, Tiffany Cola, says it was her worst nightmare.
It was gruesome. That's all I could tell you.
After Cola's sister died, she said she was hoping there would be more enforcement so this wouldn't happen to anyone else.
I made a promise before she took her last breath that I would make sure I get them off the street. I don't know how just yet, but I will.
But since then, other accidents have happened. Fast forward to 2017. Another crash ended with the death of a rider.
1 minute, he's just a young boy. He's having, thinking he's having fun, and the next minute he lost his life.
And this past March, an ATV and a school bus collided in Algiers. A child on the bus and the driver, the ATV, were hurt. The problem spans outside New Orleans. Plaquemines Parish Sheriff deputies are seen chasing ATV riders on the highway just last year. And in April, one teen in Slidell died crashing an ATV. Another teen was hurt. But not everyone agrees that ATVs should be illegal.
And this is our culture. We ride on the street.
WDSU Investigates thought it was important to reach out to ATV drivers and riders themselves. They described to me that this is a way of life, and they're actually helping to reduce other crimes.
Different energies, when you just wake up and you don't have nothing to do, that's why, the next thing you know, they see a gun or this, or they doing real crazy things that they shouldn't be doing that will really change their life.
In 2018, a state law added penalties and jail time for reckless operation of bikes and ATVs, including speeding, disregarding traffic signs, wheelies, and stunts. If caught, you could be fined up to $500 and 90 days in jail.
This has been a constant complaint, constant issues with this, and the neighbors and the businesses have had enough.
But the problem has continued years later.
What can the city of New Orleans do to stop this?
It's very dangerous, and we've had loss of life in our community, in our city, by this type of activity.
I asked Mayor Latoya Cantrell about the efforts to combat this trend.
What can we do? I believe it's what we are doing. One, asking for just increased enforcement on our state highways by LSP. Wanting to beef up our traffic patrols.
The crime is happening in front of officers, and Mayor Cantrell says officers can chase, but the biggest concern is protecting all lives at all costs.
They can have authorized pursuits. They can. But in that, we have to think about everyone and the dangers that present.
But drivers having to share the roadway say more needs to be done before someone else dies.
It's inevitable. It's been going on too long. The numbers are huge. the occurrences are too frequent, I think it's inevitable something bad's going to happen.
Now, the city tells me they're asking for help from the state to tackle this problem while also beefing up their traffic division, saying it will help to get more boots on the roads. Reporting here in New Orleans, I'm Cassie Sherm, WDSU Investigates.
All right, Cassie, thank you so much. Louisiana State Police say the best thing you can do is call 911 if you witness the drivers and to notify state or local authorities if anyone hears word that an illegal ride is about to happen. Gina?
All right, new at 6, some carnival flair headed to New Orleans.